Thank you. It works well for me. Like 3 of the, like, I have a lot of this.
I'm going to turn you up just a little bit. Bring up the chat and increase some volume. I figured out how to, when we had our first meeting with Roberto, or class with Roberto, and I kept getting some little notification thing. Well, I finally went into settings and found where it was doing it. So hopefully, because every time you would send me something on chat, it would give me a notification like I couldn't see it, which I could. So I'm happy about that. And I have some questions and some sentences.
Very good. Let's begin.
Okay. So, esta semana va a desordenado. I was trying to say the word for messy. Esta semana va a, it's going to be messy because of
This week is going to be a messy week. That's what you wanted meaning to say?
Yes.
Okay, so say that one more time for me in Spanish, slowly and clearly.
Say that again, please.
Say that to me one more time in Spanish, slowly and clearly, so I can assess every word.
Okay. Esta semana va a desordenado.
Okay, if you got a low at the end, at the last word, that is not the right thing to put. You're not entirely off mark, but that is still not the correct thing, okay?
Sure.
All right. We're going to discuss low some other time because it's a whole subject and we're still not, we're getting there.
Okay.
Low,
I did put an alternate. I put going to be ya vaya lleno de problemas.
Yeah, that's a really good way to say it for sure.
Okay.
That's perfect. Desordenada. This week is going to be a messy one or disorganized. That is a description. The week is the object and messy is the description.
Right.
Right? Description words in Spanish either have male, female, female ending, or plural endings. Like cerveza fría, taco frío, quesadillas frías, right?
Okay.
Frío is, when you talk about description words, that is a relatively easy subject because all you have to figure out is the object described as a male, single female, plural males, plural females, and then you just slap the ending on the description. So that's why the low doesn't work there.
Okay.
Alrighty, good. So all you have to fix, esta semana, your sentence is perfect otherwise.
Okay.
Esta semana va a estar desordenada.
Desordenada. Okay. All right. Okay. I thought I was over my head with that word anyway, so.
Good, you're good, you're good.
Okay, another sentence. Está haciendo algo en sábado?
Perfect.
Okay. ¿Estás alguien viniendo contigo?
That is a really good way to say it. It's very formal, and a lot of the Spanish books teach you that way. It's kind of like learning English from a book from 40 years ago. Like when you go out to the street, people just really don't speak that way anymore. What we would say in Mexico, alguien viene contigo. I equals there is or is there. So that's what you were really meaning to say. Depending if it does it, in English, you have to switch the position of the words to make it a question or a statement. Is there any milk? There is milk up there, right? So that's how I make it question or not question. In Spanish, however, you just make the word I equals both. You just end your sentence with a question mark or not. No hay nadie en la casa. ¿Hay alguien aquí? ¿Hay alguien? That's my question mark in my voice. Is there anybody here? That makes sense?
Oh, so instead of, okay, so say I, alguien, viniendo contigo.
Yes, viniendo
Okay.
contigo. Very good. Perfect.
All righty, that's interesting. I just wrote down que sigue because what's next was important to get in my head.
Good.
Okay, I tried to do something too complicated, I think. I'm like saying, estoy volviendo mañana. I'm coming back tomorrow.
Perfect.
And then I'm estoy pensando que veces estoy gustando estudiar. Oh, this is where I got over my head. I was going to say, this is the sentence was going to be, I'm thinking that sometimes I like to study and sometimes I don't.
Okay, say that one more time then.
In Spanish?
Yeah, yes.
Estoy pensando que a veces estoy gustando estudiar. Y otras veces no.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. You got a perfect sentence.
That's when I took a step back and said, keep it simple. Stop, just learn some words. Okay, los niños están regresando a escuela.
Good.
The children are returning back to school.
Good.
Right word?
100% perfect, yeah.
Okay. Got little questions for you. So, Juan está conmigo. Estamos bailando.
Yes, Juan is with me. We are dancing.
Sí, y we are, and I did have a E.
Yeah.
Y estamos bailando. Okay. Estamos viendo televisión.
Mm-hmm.
Mientras voy devolviendo esta ropa a la tienda.
We are watching TV while I'm returning those clothes to the store. Very good.
That wasn't exactly connected, but it's funny. It's really funny. Okay, got some. I got a question.
Uh-huh.
I tried to make a sentence with Cassie, almost.
Yeah.
And everything I thought of was going to be in the past. Like I almost did something.
Yeah.
So I didn't go there.
Don't go there.
Yeah. And I wanted to ask you about sobre. Sobre has, I think it has a couple meanings about.
Mm-hmm.
On, sobre on.
Yes.
And upon, or something fancy, some fancy deal. But is an envelope a sobre? Okay.
Yes, exactly.
But that's another.
And it's also the word about. You got actually 3 words in English that are covered by sobre. And
Okay.
You just understand from the context there. Sobre.
Okay, and then back up, one last question, and back up above the, I probably can't find it here, but you typed in una sería. And I, seria. And what does that mean?
A series, like a show, like a series with 7 episodes and 18 seasons.
Oh, okay. I totally missed that. It's like a serial, not this kind. A television series.
Yeah, like the Bold and the Beautiful, or I don't know what. The Who's the Boss?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Mandalorian. That's what we're watching now.
What are you watching?
Mandalorian. It's a Star Wars thing.
Yeah, I kind of heard of it. I mean, I liked Star Wars and all this, but not enough to keep up with all the 17 prequels and sequels and whatnot.
I totally agree. My husband likes it, so I started playing it for him, and I went, whatever. Okay. Oh, one other quick question on the page for glue words.
Yeah.
And it was for desde, and I know it's just a typo. To me, desde is from.
It is from.
Okay, so I just crossed out whatever that word is. The misprint here is.
How did I print it?
SEIN something. SEINEC.
Really? Can you show me like which printout it is so I can go and fix it?
It's the glue words.
Yeah, I have like 3 of them with the same design. Which one is that?
Okay, it's like says some quick Spanish glue words asterisk.
Okay. Huh.
And and I've made so many notes on here, I'd show it to you, but it's like, I mean, I almost can't read it anymore. The first time is the first word is a veces, sometimes.
A veces. Okay.
And with, con, without, sin, from, de, and then on the next line is that word, SEINAC, and for desde.
A veces, una vez tarde temprano, una vez solo cuando después. Wait, I'm just looking at those printouts. Desde. Oh, sense. The English is misspelled, right?
Yeah, it's just a typo. It's
I'm thinking I had a typo in Spanish, and I'm like, how is that possible? Now I see.
It's okay, but I was trying to make it mean something in case I needed it, right?
Okay, so tell me again, because the spell check, when you got both English Spanish, the spell check sometimes doesn't work. Like it doesn't get it, so I didn't get it either, right? Which?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sometimes it slips by.
How would they spell it? I'll just go and fix it. How would they spell it?
The wrong thing?
The English one. Yeah, how should it be spelled properly?
SEINAC or EC. I can't see it because I crossed it out.
Okay, never mind. Do you understand that the word sense in English has like 3 different spellings with the I and the C and the S in different positions? It's super.
I know it's a.
Do you also know that I've been trying to spell that stupid letter for the last 35 years and I still fail? Look at me.
Yeah. And it's,
good. You're in Spanish, I'm in English.
You're not the only one, right?
Listen, after 35 years, I still misspell that stupid word. Don't worry about your Spanish, my friend. It's good.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And I did not do a thing on Facebook yet, but I'm going to get to it. It's right here.
Thank you. You know what? I just talked to somebody who says he's dyslexic. Well, he's got like learning disabilities, and then I send him like a little sample of those printouts, and the next message I get from him is, "I'm in." So, like, honestly, if we can help some people,
yeah, and
like a ray of hope, that would be great. Like, the education system messed up so much. Like, if you can't fit the mold, they tell you something is wrong with you, and it's not the case. So,
yeah, and there's so many people coming back. It's like all it took was what, 1.5 years of COVID to get totally relaxed and not have so many people around. Did you notice that in Bucerias?
Bucerias is way quieter. Like we had the year before COVID. I mean, even 2019, like it was super, booming, and it was very happy. Lots of people, restaurants, music, everything. It was fun. And then COVID hit. It was like a ghost town, and now it's kind of like recovering, but it's like mega quiet. It's like 2/3 of what it used to be. Yesterday, I went to Puerto Vallarta. So I was meeting a friend, and you know how their bridge collapsed? So the Nora hurricane, one of the bridges the bus goes into Old Town. Well, the bridge collapsed, so I forgot. I took the wrong bus, ended up walking all the Malecon, basically. It's got all the Katrinas and, Day of the Dead and the whole thing, so a lot of fun. And then at some point there was like a herd of tourists going like right directly, and then I was like, ah! It turned out there was a cruise ship in town. They're all like cruise ship people.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was super packed with people, like tourists, and I guess Mexican tourists, because it was a long weekend. It was a lot of fun to see Vallarta that way. But compared to where I live, it was like, I'm in New York City, what is going on?
That's funny.
All right, let's go on.
Okay.
Oh, you wanted some, I want to give you some examples with casi.
Ah, okay.
Casi, here is a great way of using está and casi. Casi. Está casi listo. Está
So
casi.
está casi, what means what? Está and casi.
Well, está equals it, he, she, it is.
Uh-huh.
Casi is almost, and listo is ready.
Okay.
Almost ready. Like you pick to somebody's kitchen, right? Oh, it's almost ready. It's almost ready. Está casi listo. Let's say there's, I don't know, your street was closed because they're going to do some road works, and you go to the worker and you're like, when are you guys done? When are you going to open up my street again? And they're like, está casi listo. It's almost ready.
Okay.
And sometimes the locals, they will switch the position of the words, and they will say, casi está listo. Why? It's their prerogative.
Okay.
It really does say the same thing. It doesn't matter. Like, you hear almost, it's ready.
So how would you say it? You would put the está on the end?
I lived here for so long, and I do errands, and my landlady speaks Spanish, and the neighbors, like, I'm all day long. Like, if I don't have a lesson, I'll probably speak way more Spanish than English during my day. And I'm afraid I caught some bad habits. Because a lot of the locals here in Nayarit, you know, it's very rural. They don't like go to school or university or one. They don't care. So I probably picked up some improper Spanish, and that's how I speak. So I'll just say whatever.
Okay.
And then.
All right, I'll just write down casi está listo.
Yeah, to actually give you a more accurate answer, it would depend on the rest of your sentence.
Okay.
Because it's almost ready, it's never a standalone sentence. It's always the context of conversation, so you got a sentence before it and a sentence after it. And how you position the words, they would have a relationship to what you said previously or about to say next. Right? The object, the pronoun, the adjective, all those things, they align in a certain order. But if I blow up the picture and we got like 3 or 5 sentences in a row, like a short story, then they might be in a different position because they have to tie in and make sense to the rest of it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so are you feeling confident on the subject of using a star plus the verbs?
Yes, and I think I will continue writing sentences for weeks.
Yeah. Do it. You want it natural.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it. Writing gives you confidence to after saying it. Right? Because like practice makes perfect, right? Like you practice so much, how would you
practice?
Yeah, it works. So that's going to be your standing homework assignment. You write it on your free time, have fun with it.
Right.
We're going to continue to a newer subject, and if you want repetition, just tell me, we'll get back to it.
That's fine, because they all tie together.
They do. They definitely tie together. And next time you're going to hear something like casi está listo, you already know it is ready, and then the word almost, so you get it that it's not entirely done, right? Like,
yeah.
Now that you know this, you'll know what you're hearing.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna pause, like, and you know what? No, before we pause, let's stay on the little bit sentence structure and grammar stuff. We're going to do a quick 10 minutes on a subject that is fairly simple, but it's worth noting. How to say 2 or 4. I'm looking for a birthday gift for my husband. I need baking soda to bake a cake, right? 2 or 4, right? Two very used English words. The equivalent of those two in Spanish is por or para.
Sí.
Right? So por or para. Now the reason I separate them by a slash is because at the end of the day, they're pretty much interchangeable. Now in English, when I ask most native English speakers, can you explain to me the difference between 2 and 4? How would you define those? Most native English speakers just look at me and say, I don't know. I know how to use them, but I can't explain them to you. They just are, right? Could you explain to yourself 2 and 4? How would you define them if you had to explain them?
Well, 2 is giving something to somebody, and 4 is doing something for a purpose.
You just gave me an example. Give me a definition. What is that? Relationship, belongings, possessions, cause and effect. What would that be?
That's difficult. A definition of 2. It's like trying to translate a 2-letter word and you can't do it.
Most of us need to open a dictionary to read some scientific definition, but we just know how to use it anyways. Right? In Spanish, it's the exact same situation. Some things would sound better to your ear if you use por instead of para, just because you hear it so often and frequently, and you kind of know that it should sound that way. Other things, when you're not sure, you just stick one of them there. You get a 50% chance to be right. I'm not joking. It's really like that.
I know, it's a toss-up, right?
Yeah, so that means no worrying about it. Here is the scientific definition of each one of them, and you'll notice that the definition is very close in meaning.
Cause, motive, or reason, end result, objective, or goal. That's fancy.
Well, that's what the dictionary says.
Yeah.
And when we look at it, at the end of the day, it seems like reason or goal are pretty much the same thing. There's only a thin, fine line that separates them, that makes them different. It could have been twins otherwise. Do you agree?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
This is why people write PhDs on English, PhD in Spanish, PhD in any other language. We don't need a PhD. Some things you pick up naturally. Quiero comprar regalo para mi mamá. I want to buy a present for my mom. If you walk to a store, you're browsing for gifts for Father's Day, and you kind of like, asking help. I'm looking for a baking sheet, right? I need a cake mold number 7. Those things, right? 2 or 4. Nobody really remembers that slide. So the takeaway from this subject, at the end of the day, they're interchangeable. Or slash para. Slash 4. And anytime you think one of those English words, you could just pick one Spanish word and go with it. Okay?
Okay.
That's it. That's the subject.
That's it, huh?
Yeah.
So I got a question. I don't know where I got this from, but if you were doing a math problem, a multiplication problem, and you wanted to go 2 times 2 in Spanish, 2 times 2.
Thank God I never did that in Spanish, but from what I recall, it really does not come often in our age.
No.
2 por 4.
So it's not dos por dos?
I'm sorry, my example is 2 times 4. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. Okay. 2 por cuatro. Okay. 2 por cuatro. Gotcha. Cuatro. Sheesh. Okay.
Yeah. You know what's the easiest way to remember this?
Yeah.
You know, like 4-wheel drive? 4-wheel drive? This
Yeah.
is how it looks like on every car manual. If I show you, you know what I mean? 4-wheel
Right.
drive. 4 por 4.
Cuatro por cuatro.
Yeah, that's all.
Sí.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. All right, so this is the subject of for and para. There's actually a very long list, like I got it from the dictionary, so I have like a document with like 11 bulletin points for each waran that really narrows down the dictionary definition. I give it as a reading exercise to my intermediate students because it's full of like words and concepts. You're not an intermediate yet, we don't need to do it. And nobody really remembers that 22 bulletin point anyway. Just go with this one.
Yeah, thank you. That would so distract me. I would go off the whole week on that, trying to figure stuff out.
Yeah, the bottom line, if you can't remember it, that 22 rules don't help you. Like, you know what I mean? If you can't keep it in your brain and use it, it's irrelevant. Now we're gonna go over the 4 ways to say "excuse me, I'm sorry" in Spanish. Okay, so tell me, "excuse me, I'm sorry." How would you say that?
Excuse me, I would say perdóname. And sorry, I would say lo siento.
Okay, excellent. You fell in the classic gringo trap. Classic. You sound like you fresh off the boat, don't know anything, step on toes left and right, knock things out. Terrible.
Oh, good. Help me fix it.
Okay, so I'm gonna send you a short 3-point document that illustrates the difference, and then we're gonna go work on it.
Okay, great.
So I'm just gonna pull up this document. Okay, perfect. Yeah, and you're gonna stop saying what you just said. They're not the right ones to say at those occasions, so you just sound, awkward, off mark, too far. Like you don't make sense. Go ahead and open it and read it.
There it is.
Okay, I'm gonna shut my camera for a sec. Excuse me. I'm gonna go fix my my curtain angle.
Okay, I got it. Disculpe is to call someone's attention, like, excuse me, what time is it? You'll also use it with a waiter, sales staff, street direction. Lo siento, used to express your condolences, or heartfelt apology. That's very serious.
Yes, exactly.
Perdón, used for accidental touch or bumping or stepping on feet. That's what I should use instead of, yes, perdón. Perdón. Con permiso, excuse yourself from the table or moving through someone and tell someone to move out of the way. Con permiso. And propio, what is that?
Okay, so I'm not sure if they say that a lot in Vara de Navidad, but here, and this is something in Nayarit, Like I lived in Mexico City, I lived in the Caribbean, I lived in Aguascalientes before I came to Nayarit. And I've never heard proprio until I got to Nayarit. And everybody here says it all the time. Quite astounding. So I also have neighbors from Tabasco and Chiapas, and they say that too. So let's start from the bottom. Con permiso is the polite way when you want somebody to move out of your way. Let's say you're on the bus and you're trying to get off the bus and somebody's standing, right? Because the bus is packed. Or you're in the supermarket, you're pushing your carts, and my cart is like blocking the aisle, and you're like, con permiso. You kind of go by close proximity to somebody else's space. That's what you say. Mm-hmm. The other person, equally as polite, just says proprio. It's like a polite exchange with permission coming through by your own permission, like no worries.
Okay, so coming through.
Coming through, excuse me, coming through, con permiso.
Okay.
Huh? Okay. Okay.
Okay, bring that back up here. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, this is great.
Next, let's start from the top. Disculpa.
Okay.
Disculpa is the everyday use of excuse me, to call somebody's attention. Excuse me, can you help me? Excuse me, where's the bread? Where's island number 7? Where is the bathroom? Like, anytime you use excuse me in English for something, you do disculpa.
Disculpa.
Right. Sometimes
just replacing perdóname in my brain with disculpe.
Yes. Because you live here for so long, I'm going to add another thing that I typically don't show the beginners, but you're ready for it. Una disculpa is an apology.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Una disculpa.
It's the object. Just like there is an apology and there is a question and there is an answer, an apology would be una disculpa. This is what the locals say. One of my Facebook posts, somebody local, like a Mexican, he commented on my post and says like, what's wrong with the way we talk? I guess he thought that I'm trying to speak teach Mexicans how to speak proper Spanish. And he's like, what's wrong with the way we talk? With a lol emoji. I'm like, gentlemen, this is for the caballero, es para los extranjeros. Like, señor, it's for the foreigners. He's like, una disculpa. Sorry, I apologize, right? When you see una disculpa, that makes it a noun because una is a or n. It comes before an object. So an apology is una disculpa. That makes sense?
An apology.
Yeah. And just as a refresher, I'm going to put the slide here, how to say a or n. Because in English, you put an apple, an umbrella, a horse, a taco, a girl, a boy. And these are the words that are in Spanish.
Okay, I have it right here. Okay. I have the A and an. Okay, perfect.
Right, it's that missing component that makes you speak way more proper, and
okay.
it also helps you understand, because if you're not sure whether what you're hearing is a verb or an ESTAR or referring to a person or what the heck that is, if it's paired with a una, unos, you know it's an object, like a noun, right? It's not an action, it's not a person, it's noun. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Okay. So disculpa is excuse me. Lo siento is what you say in the serious cases, like my condolences.
Yeah, because I've always wondered about that because it's like siento is feeling. So I've always thought, why is it so all over the place for the way I use it?
Some
It shouldn't be.
grammar book from 50 years ago, and then you got like the whole generation coming to Mexico saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
really
so.
people just kind of duplicate that. Lo siento is when somebody tells you there was a death in the family, a husband got fired, the dog died, something really serious happened. That's like,
Something
oh,
sad. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. That would be lo siento. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I'm so sorry would be lo siento. And you're
So-
right, it does come from sentir, which is the verb to feel.
Right. I was just wondering where, because when I'm using lo siento incorrectly in the wrong place, I'm basically think I'm saying, I'm sorry, because as an English speaker, we say that a lot. We go, I don't know. I was expecting you to call me later or earlier, and you say, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're not really sorry.
I
You're just,
was
it's something to
sorry.
say. Huh?
Right. You say I'm sorry on a whole range of things. My husband got fired, my grandmother died, and I stepped on your foot. All equally would be covered with I'm sorry, which is crazy.
Exactly. So perdón is the step on the foot. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I was
Sometimes
Okay.
I hand change to the taxi driver or a bill, and like it falls. I'm like, ay, perdón. Yeah, sorry. Just
Great.
like,
This is fantastic. This is great. You're telling the truth.
yes. Okay, so that's that. And now let's do another variation with quiero estar. We're gonna work our way. I'm gonna show you multiple combinations. What we're gonna cover in the beginner course, you can do a lot with. It's like a guitar. Guitar only has 6 strings, but you can make like infinite number of chords with it, because the mathematical combinations of 6 items are like almost infinite, right? Super high. Same thing here. So not everything you can squish into your brain, right? But at least I'm showing you your toolkit, and we can always practice the whole range of it, and that's your toolkit. I want to be in Paris next week. I want to be at the bank early on Monday. I want to be home by dinner. I want to be whatever. Quiero estar.
See, I love the verb quiero. Querer.
Typically, quiero estar would be accompanied by either the immediate word after those two would be either a verb or a location. I want to be ready before 5 o'clock. Some other couple coming to pick you up to a costume party. You're telling your husband, I want to, get dressed, eat, shower, put makeup, blah, blah. I want to be ready by 6. Quiero estar lista a las 6 o antes de las 6 or whatever you want to say. Okay.
What does that say?
That?
So quiero estar lista, and you said hace. What does that say?
I said one thing, and on the screen it's spelled properly. A las 6.
Oh, see what I hear and what's real and totally different.
I know. Okay. Yes, it's.
A las 6. Okay, I heard hasta, so I'm like thinking I missed it. Quiero estar lista a las 6.
Did you actually hear me say the word seis? Did you catch that?
Did I what?
When I was speaking, did you catch like the sound of seis or ace
No.
at the end of my sentence? You didn't catch that sound, ace? Quiero estar lista a las 6. Let me say it a few times fast and focus on the last sound. Estaremos listos a las 6. Tienen que estar listas a las 6. Deberá estar listo a las 6. Do you hear the last 2 syllables of my sentence?
Yes.
Okay, say them back to me. What did you hear?
So what I didn't hear
Just
was
the
the
last
first.
2 syllables. Right, just the last 2 syllables of every sentence. How did
Okay.
that sound?
Says.
Exactly. When people speak really fast, they tend to muffle a lot of things. That's why you didn't really get what I was saying. But the key component, if you hear the ace, stays, you hear that little bit tail at the end, your brain is going to do some math and it's going to eliminate all the possibilities and it's going to gamble that it's the word says. And you would probably be right.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
More on that later. That's for the beginning.
Okay.
Okay. So here is another example. Queremos estar listos a las 6.
Okay. One more time, please.
Queremos estar listos a las 6.
Quieros? Are you saying, yeah, queremos. Oh, queremos estar. We want to be ready.
Now, I'm going to say it really fast, and I want you to focus on the most. I don't care what you hear in the whole sentence, but I want your brain to zoom in on the fact that I'm saying the sound most pretty much at the beginning. Listen to this. Queremos estar listos a las 6. Queremos estar allá temprano. Queremos tener más tiempo. Queremos comprar algo. I know it's hard. It's not easy. I'll go again. Queremos venderlo. Queremos limpiar el gato. Queremos manejar allá. Queremos buscar algo. Did you not catch a faint mouse at the beginning of at the beginning?
What I heard was the end.
Okay, no problem. No problem. Mouse is not as strong a sound as R or S or something. That's why you're a beginner and not advanced. That's all I can say. It will come.
It's okay. It's true.
All right, we tried. We'll try again in a few months. No problem.
Okay, so. Okay, what was I missing? What were you looking for me to be able to be here?
I wanted you to be able to distinguish between queremos, which means we want, and quiero, which means I want, and then all the other people that want. And the way you would distinguish it starts with quiero, and then there's like the ending there. That's what I was saying.
Okay.
Okay, another one. We want to be in San Miguel de Allende for Christmas. Try telling me that.
Okay. Queremos estar en the whole name of the city.
San Miguel. Just say San Miguel.
San Miguel de Allende. That's what I lost. By Christmas. So, por Navidad.
Yes, good. Navidad, yeah, good. Queremos estar en San Miguel. Right? So here is an example of how we want to be at a certain place. The city for Christmas. Tell me, we want to be at the bank on Wednesday.
Queremos estar a la banco por miércoles.
Okay.
On
El banco, in the bank, or at the bank.
In the banco.
And miércoles.
Okay.
N equals in. I know you would say in English on Wednesday, but that's how you say it in Spanish. El miércoles.
And miércoles.
Right. And en el or en va at in. I hope this shorthand makes sense. If not, I could give you a full sentence.
At or in. Okay, no, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And el and la, depending on the yeah.
Male or female. Yeah. The bank happens to be male object. La playa, queremos estar en la playa mañana.
And la playa, yeah.
Playa. Those little components are they are kind of important because it makes you speak way better. Not like a first grader, but really it's not a big deal. If it takes a while for your brain to incorporate those and everything you say, that's okay. You're probably better off focusing on hearing them. If you can hear them, that will provide a lot of clarification as to what's going on, what you're hearing. And incorporating them yourself to your own speech could come later, could come next year, even if you want to. It will come, and it's just, probably a lot of use by just hearing them. Second use is speaking them. Okay?
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. So just like we started every sentence with queremos, you can make that for any other person. She wants to be, he wants to be, they want to be, blah, 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 right? So you got a whole range of queremos, which, do you think you can tell me, like, each person, like, I want, you want, she wants, could you, like, go down the line of queremos?
Yeah. Quiero is, I would, quiero estar, or queréis estar. Quieres estar. Quiere estar. Queremos and querrán. Querrán?
Perfect. Quieren. Okay.
Okay.
Let's have you do this with buscar. Buscar is to search for. So can you conjugate buscar for all of them?
What do you want me to conjugate with buscar?
Buscar. Okay, buscar. I'm searching for. You're searching for. He's searching.
I would say estoy buscando if I was looking for something.
Okay. How do you say you're looking for? You are looking for.
Well, yeah, I am. But am I translating the verb buscar? Okay,
let's get rid of the word buscar and do something even more frequent. Okay? Necesito. Okay. Necesito. I need. How do you say you need, we need, they need, etc.?
Necesito, necesitas, necesita, necesitamos, necesitan.
Perfect. Perfect. So you know how to say quiero and you know how to say necesito for each person. Pair any one of them with estar, and out of those two words, you got 12 words already. He wants to be, she needs to be. They need to be, they want to be, right? You got like 12 options. So at this point, it's relatively easy, right? Like, you're playing dough and you can make 12 different things with it. That's great.
Excuse me.
Right?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Cool.
Now let's add another option. Okay, read those out of the screen, please.
Puedo, puedes, puede, podemos, pueden. Can, I can.
Yes.
That's a tough verb for me. I don't know why. At least to make a sentence out of. Maybe I'm stuck on the use of the word in English.
Puedo equals I can.
Yeah.
Puedes equals you can, or can you, or you can. So what do you think the rest of them mean?
Well, the obvious. I mean, I can, you can, he, she, it can, we can, they can.
Exactly.
And you all can. Do you know how long it took me to learn that it can be, I am going, how you just reversed puedo, you was like, I can, and then you said it a different way. It took me so long to realize they were the same in Spanish. That was stupid that somebody didn't point that out to me in the beginning of my classes years ago. Or maybe they did and I just didn't hear it, right?
Possible.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever.
So each one of them means I can, you can, he, she, it can. What? Now,
Okay.
puedo in Spanish could be either a question or a statement. It depends how you're finishing off your sentence. So if like I walk, I walk into your house and I say, can I have a glass of water? ¿Puedo tener un vaso de agua, por favor? That's a question, right? I'm requesting something. Let's say if I'm Katy, ¿puedes estar en el banco el lunes? ¿Puedes estar en el banco el lunes?
So puedes estar, I can be at the, I think you said at the bank.
Right. So puedes estar. Notice the end. It's
Puedes.
not it's somebody else, and I'm asking you a question. So make the connection.
So can you be at the bank?
Yes.
Puedes.
So in English, we switch the position of the words. Can you always makes a question in your mind. Can I? Can you? Can we? Can she? That's always a question in English.
Okay.
When I switch the position, it means she can, I can, you can, he can, we can. That's not a question anymore. It's a statement. Right?
Okay.
In Spanish, we don't have to switch positions of the word. Both sentences, all those sentences starts with puedo, and then you either make a question mark with your voice or in writing.
I can or I can.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Write that down. Excuse me.
Okay.
Okay, so I also put a slide on the screen. So take a minute to read it and tell me if that's a good explanation.
Okay, more about puedo. Puedo equals can I, may I. In Spanish, we don't say may I, we say puedo when politely asking for things because puedo means both, may I or can I. Puedo tener un vaso de agua, por favor. May I have a glass of water, please? Puedo sentar aquí. Can I sit here? Puedo ver. Puedo